Hey, I just wanted to show you how I have my Minecraft server set up. Probably to start at the beginning is everyone on their desktop, everyone else is running Windows besides me. Um, I have basically this batch file installed here, and I'll send you a copy of all this. All this batch file does, once this loads up here, is I put these files in the local user's profile, the plink, the putty, and then the private key. What this does is it connects out to my notebook that I always have on, doing my crash plan, my BitTorrent sync, and all that. And it tells it to run the command slash minecraft.sh. So what that does, if we go to that machine, I actually created another user whose only purpose is to run this one script. This script just does a simple command that calls etherwake, which does wake on LAN in Linux, and that MAC address is of my Linux server. One thing that's unique about this, you'll notice that's the sudo command. Now, to do that, I had to add a special entry in there because I didn't want everyone to have to type any type of password or anything to do that. So what you'll see here is this wake on land user has the ability to run that command using sudo without having to enter a password. So by them clicking on that link, it'll go ahead, SSH into this box, automatically sudo run the etherwake to start up my Minecraft server. So let's go take a look at the Minecraft server now. There's a couple different areas, but we'll actually start with the Minecraft server scripts themselves. As you can see, I have the Minecraft server set up as its own user. And if we look at the home folder structure, I'm actually looking at retweaking a lot of this because what I find is I sometimes either want to have multiple versions of servers or I want to be able to flip-flop back and forth. So like I have a vanilla Minecraft server, I have my modded server, and then there's a new mod pack out where you basically play where you're up in the sky and you have all these quests you have to do. So I got basically 3 servers I bounce between. When I originally wrote this, I never intended to have that many servers. So some of the scripts you'll see, you can kind of see where I've just thrown it together, where there's a lot more elegant way we could do it with using functions and whatnot, which I'll probably end up doing here in the next month or so if I can find time. But to do the directory structure itself, my archive folder is just all the different Minecraft servers. As we end up not using them anymore, we archive them off. The backup folder, as you can see, there's 3 of them. Let's clear that screen. You see there's 3 of them. This is my modded backup one. This is my sky map one, and this is a vanilla server. Now all of these are running RDEF backup. And let's see, increments. What you'll see here, like if we run on backup, so you see there's 54 different increments, and every 10 minutes it looks like for the last 2 days is captured on here while the server was running. So if I need to do a restore, I can just do the restore using this and say, I want restore as of 10 minutes ago, back up, and then wherever I want to put that. And then a lot of times I would actually tell it to just overwrite my server directory and it would put everything back the way it was. So this is that Minecrafter's insurance I've told you about before. Let's clear that screen. The cron tab has a couple interesting items here. So you can see on the system reboot, we're actually running this home slash Minecraft slash sh. That's where I keep all my scripts. Start.sh. And you'll see a lot of those are just kind of pointers to other files depending on the servers. And again, it's one of those things I want to tweak now that I end up running multiple servers. I have so this is running every hour at 05 and 35. It just outputs the time to the client, so that way if you're playing, you get some sense of how much time has passed. And then the backup script, as you can see here, runs every 10 minutes. And on reboot, it also fires up this players.php file. This one I'll get into a little bit later, but what it does is it basically queries the Minecraft server to see who's on it, and if no one's been on it for a certain period of time, then shuts down that server. You'll see there's some older commented out scripts down here. This is before I went to the smarter system where I can actually tell who's on the server. These would work a lot better, if I only wanted to have it run via a block of time from 5 at night till 1 a.m. That's what I was using before. So let's actually go into the scripts folder. And as you can see, I have quite a few different scripts here. We'll go into the backup folder first. This one is a perfect example of where I just need to incorporate some functions. Unfortunately, I did just a lot of copying and pasting. So right now we're playing this modded server. And so right now when that backup script runs every 10 minutes, it's only doing this one. Now you can see I have the variables set up above here, so it actually won't be much work at all for me just to create a function, pass in these parameters, and then make it a lot easier for myself. Just got to take time to rewrite it. But the interesting thing about this, and you'll see this repeatedly, I'm actually using the fact that I'm using the server running in a screen. Actually, this is called Minecraft. That I can actually push commands into it, just as if I was typing into that. So let me kind of demonstrate that a little bit. If I look at the screens that are loaded, you can see that I have one called Minecraft. And so we can actually see this world is running right now. And actually my mom is currently on the Minecraft server. And you can do all the different commands via here. You saw I did list, showing how many players are on there. You can say hi, and that's where on the Minecraft client it'll actually say server hi, just like you saw there. But you can, by issuing those same commands that you saw on the backup screen or script, I can tell people that, hey, I'm backing up the world. This save off, this basically what it does is it makes sure that it's not actively writing to the disk when you're doing the backup itself. Then we're actually doing the RDIF backup, and then from there we're telling it to turn that piece off again, so that way it can actually write to the disk again, update any changes that happened during the backup. And then we tell the end user, say that the backup was completed. And then the last one here, this is kind of an important one, otherwise you're going to run out of disk space. Basically what it does is after I do a backup, I look for any backups that are older than 2 days. If they're older than 2 days, I go ahead and get rid of them. Now, the other thing I'm doing is CrashPlan is also running on this machine, looking at that backup server, and it's set up to keep it for a longer period of time, because what it can do is take changes over, okay, I took this week, I only have one backup of that. So I have that version history spread out a little bit more. CrashPlan actually stored on the other server that serves as the Wake on LAN script machine. So let's look a little bit more at this. The all users server. This is just a cool little script I was using to play with, that I found how I can go through the server log and just see who's ever logged into it. I don't actually use that one too often, just looking to see if I want to see who's recently connected to the machine. The Minecraft query.class.php, this one I downloaded, and it's actually used in this players.php. Now you notice there's a couple different versions of the players PHP, and again this goes back to the fact that I originally didn't design this thing to have multiple servers running on it at a time. So if we look at this PHP, and the only reason I did in PHP is because there happened to be a API for actually querying a Minecraft server really easily, and I hadn't actually started playing with Python at that time. So what I'm doing here is basically I'm just going into a loop, and in my loop here I have it set so the sleep 60, basically once every minute I connect out to the local Minecraft server, and I just query it, which happens down here, and say, how many players do you have? And then I keep adding that up. So if at the end of 30 minutes, I'm trying to remember where exactly was it set. Actually, I think it's set to 45. Yeah. So if it's set to 45, this comment's wrong. So if I haven't seen anyone on the server for 45 minutes, then I issue the stop server, and I also echo out this. The reason I do this is I actually receive an email that will say that it stopped the Minecraft server. I personally like this just because sometimes I like to know that it actually shut off and that my server hasn't been running for multiple days on end. So let's go into that stop script. So the first thing we do is we send out a warning that the server is going to shut down, and then we sleep that for actually 3 minutes. I lied, tell them 1 minute, and actually after 3 minutes, then we connect into the screen again and issue the stop command. So other items of interest, the time script, very similar command. That's why that now command is there, because I copied that from the stop, or I copied the time into the stop when I created it. So that time script is that now statement is getting the current date and time. Actually, it's just a date, or excuse me, just time. And it just outputs what time it is. What else should we take a look at? The start script. As you see again here, this is because of the multiple servers. It's just pointing to another script, which I have based on all the different names of the servers I have. And this is pretty simple. The only piece that you may not already be doing is the fact that we're using this screen command, which will start that Minecraft server in a detached screen called Minecraft. If you haven't, I'm sure you probably know about this, but this is just what the starting memory and the maximum amount of memory that the server can use. But all in all, that's pretty much it for the Minecraft part. There's one other piece, but I need to log in as root. So when I log into root, I have a couple scripts here. Actually, if we look at the script folder, there's a script that runs every 5 minutes on the system, and what it does is it looks for now there's two of these here again because I had the multiple servers up and running. So the first one is, and again, these are just bash scripts. I'm basically using the ps command to look at all the processes on the machine, and then I'm looking for any of them that are running under user 1001, which is that Minecraft user, which have that screen name of Minecraft in it. And what it does is then it returns the full number of processes with that number, and if both of my servers have 0 there, that means that none of the Minecraft servers are running because that player script kicked in and stopped the service. The other piece I added, because it was driving me insane every time I tried to work on the server, all of a sudden the server would shut down and I have to wait for it to boot back up, is I'm also looking for a file in root called keep.alive. If that's there, then obviously the statement isn't true and it doesn't execute this. So I did add that I have 2 minutes to actually cancel the shutdown, because I've had different times when I have testing that I forget to do the keep alive and it starts shutting it down. So if that happens, I can always just do a shutdown -C for cancel. Obviously there isn't anything running right now. But for that keep alive file, I just do a touch keep.alive. And now even if the Minecraft servers aren't running, the server will stay up. The Linux server, not the Minecraft server. And when I'm done doing my maintenance or my updates or whatnot, I just go ahead and remove that file. So hopefully that kind of helps you get a better idea of what I'm doing for my Minecraft stuff. You might not want to do the Wake on Land stuff, depending on if you're on a server that you're okay with running 24/7, but I thought it might be just something interesting to play around with, and you can see what I'm doing. Obviously, like I said, when I get my system updated with a newer version to run the multiple servers, I can send you an updated version of that code.